G'day everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aussie Tech Heads. It is episode 568, recorded on the 25th of January 2018, and it will happen tomorrow. Happy Australia Day. But if you're listening next week after Australia Day, well, I hope you had a great weekend and celebrated the settlement of Australia well. And went to the pub, had a few beers, had a few snags, lamb chops, whatever. So good on you. Flew the flag. Good stuff. All right, we've got a big show. We are brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au. And you can find us on the TuneIn Radio app, cross-platform. Just type in Aussie Tech Heads. Or you can find us on the Aussie Tech Radio, TuneIn Radio app again. Search for Aussie Tech Radio. Pretty simple stuff, hey? All right, you can find us on the Twitter at Aussie Tech Heads, at Glenn Goodman, at Aussie Tech News, hashtag Oz Tech Heads, or on the Facebook at facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads and youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads. The show notes are on the webpage at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast. All right, other shows on the network, Aussie Mac Zone. We haven't had a show for a while from Obsidian Loft, Old Fart Gigs, or Tech Security, but a new show, as we mentioned last week, is the Aussie Tech Crypto. And hopefully Jason can join us sometime this episode, but he's running against the clock, so we'll see how that goes. But they're recording weekly up to episode 2. And look, it's not a bad little listen, so give it a listen if you're into, or not even, or just wanting to get into, or just interested in the cryptocurrencies. They'll just run through a bit of the acronyms and all that sort of stuff you sort of need to know to get running. I know I threw 100 or so at Ripple, and the backside fell out of it. So that's about where I will stop until a bit later on. All right, so this week we are joined by Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hello, mate. How are you going?
How are you going? Not too bad, thanks. How's your week? Good?
Not too bad, yeah.
Excellent.
Not too bad.
Excellent. Are you going away for the weekend? Or
No.
No, just sitting at home, taking it easy?
Yeah, take it easy. Happy Australia Day, everyone.
Lolling about in the pool?
Yeah, I might loll. Yeah, I might do a loll in the pool.
Yeah, I loll all the time. I loll on the floor.
I'm constantly lolling when people suggest that they change the date of Australia Day. I'm lolling all over the place.
I don't think that'll happen for quite some time.
It should never happen.
No, I just don't think it will happen. I just don't think it'll happen. I just don't think there's enough support for it.
Shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen at all.
No, but anyway, it's tomorrow. So, or if you're listening to us, whenever. So, yeah. All right. Now, let's get into some stories. I've got a few stories this week. So, let's start at the Apple. Let's start with Apple. I've got a couple of Apple stories. We'll try and break them up a bit for you, so we're not just doing them one after the other. We've got a couple of other stories that are very interesting as well. But let's start with the $499 Apple Smart Home Speaker.
Bit steep for my liking.
Yes, I think it's very steep. Apple has jumped into the voice speaker wars with the HomePod smart speaker. Now, it's just like the Google Home and the Amazon, whatever it is. I forget the name of the Amazon one, but that one. I
can't remember the name of that now.
Echo. Is it the Echo?
I have no idea.
Alexa, that's it. Yep.
So
Apple's jumped in with their HomePod, a device that will use the Siri voice assistant and compete against Amazon and Google. So Apple said on Tuesday it will start taking online orders for the HomePod smart speaker on Saturday in Australia. So that will be the 27th, as well as the US and United Kingdom just over a month later than initially planned. So there was a bit of a not upheaval, but a bit of a to and fro about people's opinions on, why wasn't it ready for the December Christmas release? Some people saying, well, noting that the product might not be as successful as what it should be, because they've missed the Christmas rush, and people that were in the market for a voice-activated speaker, they've gone on to, other
things.
Yeah, other things. Now, look, I just heard a ding-dong, and it's not Avon. I think it's Jace. How you going, Jace?
Close enough.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing, right?
Yes. What do you got? What's on your shirt? Bad Wolf? Is it the Bad Wolf shirt?
Yes.
Oh,
it
good
is.
Stuff. I could just see bad. I'm sure I didn't think it would be Bad Boy Bubby or anything like that. How you been?
Good. How's yourself?
Good. Yeah, not too bad, thanks. We're just talking about the $499 Apple HomePod smart speaker.
Too little, too late.
And too much.
And too expensive. Now, how smart is what? As I was reading somewhere briefly today, I didn't quite get it. That there's something that's left a few people scratching their heads because it doesn't do something that it should be doing. And I can't remember what that was now.
Is that it won't be playing Spotify music, or will it? Let me have a look. Hang on. The $4.99 voice-controlled speaker introduced in June, originally scheduled for December, can make music suggestions and adjust home temperature. That's only if you've got the applicable devices. The speaker will also be able to send messages and play news updates. Apple is working to keep its Siri voice assistant relevant. Yes, from Alexa and Google's both, which are featured, blah, blah, blah. Also, Apple is counting on HomePod to boost subscriptions to Apple Music and block the rise of rival Spotify. So I guess it must be able to do the Spotify as well.
So hang on a minute, because can I attach this to, say, my laptop?
Well, I don't know. I think
it's supposed to be, most of them like a standalone product, don't they?
Yeah, not attached in a physical sense, like Bluetooth or however it.
You mean like the handoff?
I think they have commands, so you can say to the HomePod, do something or other with my laptop, or vice versa, probably with Siri on both.
Yeah,
yeah. So I do like
because I want to just say, if they got my iTunes up on my laptop, right? I want to send it to the speaker without physically connecting it. I should be able to do that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, we talk to it.
Yeah, they prefer Apple Music and iTunes stuff integration, and it would be more tightly integrated than anything else, and they prefer you to use the Apple stuff than Spotify or Deezer or whatever.
Because I can get Spotify up on the same laptop.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it shouldn't stop me from sending it. Unless they've got some code in there that says, if it comes from here, don't send.
No, that's not what it is. It looks like it will do the Spotify, but what I think you might be talking about is that it won't... It won't let Apple Music be played on Alexa or the Google Home. So Apple Music will be solely, exclusively for this HomePod.
That's a little bit silly, because look at the market they would have if they said, look, I like Apple Music, but I don't want to, I've already got a speaker.
Yeah.
So, and it's Alexa or Google or whatever. And because they won't let me play Apple Music, I'll stop my subscription and start a subscription with Google Play or with Amazon.
Yeah.
So they're just throwing away customers. It's stupid.
Shooting yourself in the foot. It's a bit stupid. I mean, if there's so many services, let them all run.
Let them all run.
Platform, they're finding other places are finding out.
It'll find a nice balance, and everyone will be happy. It'll be like, Mercedes-Benz saying, "Oh, we don't like Caltex petrol. You can only use mobile petrol."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I think
everyone wants to be exclusive and control the whole thing. Apple always wants to control the whole ecosystem and don't want anybody else to have a part of it. And also, the other thing that they worry about is they don't get their 30%.
That's the problem. They're greedy. There is a time and place for this certain amount of control, right? So I am happy that they've got it with the phone, for example, because it could be a dog's breakfast quite easily, right?
Yeah,
that's fine. But a speaker. Come on.
Yeah, well, I think...
What's next? Their headphones? Oh, you can only use this because this iPhone headphone is now plugged into my mixer. Right. Now, what if they said, oh, this only works, it only works if you plug it into an iPhone?
It'll be the AirPods. Only listen to Apple Music on your AirPods. You can't listen to Spotify or your own MP3s.
Yeah, that's right. How stupid would that be, right? This is effectively what they're doing.
What search engine do you know that Siri uses? Is she using Google now? Or is she...
Probably, but they won't admit that.
Yeah, who knows?
She uses Wolfram Alpha as much as possible, I think.
Yeah, Yep. Okay, so that's what's going on there with the Apple HomePod. So rush out and buy one if you wish. $4.99, $500. That's
ouch.
Look, to tell you the truth, I don't need to go, hey Siri, what's the weather like?
I don't ever need to go, hey, anything, what's the weather like? I still don't get it. I still don't get why...
I don't see just to me it's ridiculous, right? This whole what's the latest news, or what's the weather, what's the flight to Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Most people spend their time in front of in one type of screen or another.
Well,
I don't need to yell out. And number one, I don't like the name Siri.
Yeah. Well, I'm sort of just... sometimes when I try and create an event in my calendar, Siri will work, but I've always got to edit it, and you can't...
You know what? The only thing that I do understand, I mentioned on Facebook, I just bought a Hyundai i30 Active, Now that's got Android Auto and it's
CarPlay.
got CarPlay. And the Android Auto is currently in beta to have Google Assistant. So I could ask what my car while I'm driving, especially if I'm on a long road trip with my daughter or something, what's my next appointment? Can you make an appointment for this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Call Dad or whatever while you're in the car. I don't want a little box in my bedroom that I talk to every morning. Go, oh, yawn, g'day, Alexa, Google, Siri, Cortana.
Whatever your name is.
Please tell me what it's like outside because I can't.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Window.
Yeah, I don't.
My watch. My watch can tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's just not needed. I don't think people are that lazy that they want everything done for them. The human race is in trouble.
They seem to be very, very popular, though. They sell millions of the damn things.
But I just don't think people are using them for what they're intended. I think in the end, people are using them just as speakers to send their music to it.
And that's all I'd be using. I'd be using the assistant to go, okay, Siri, can you send some song to the lounge room speaker or something?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I was going to say. Pretty much
play Bon Jovi on shuffle.
Yeah,
you can do that with other speakers.
I bought a Sony speaker that looks exactly like this. It's half the size, little cylinder, about this big. It's Bluetooth. Battery goes for 16 hours.
Yep.
And it hooks into any PC or Mac that's got a Bluetooth thingy on it. And it takes 2 seconds to pair it. Really simple. And it's got a range of 30 feet. What's that, 10 meters?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's got a little thing on it. You can hang it on a hook outside on your deck, for example.
Yep.
And the sound on it is unbelievable.
Yeah. What model? What brand? I mean,
Sony something or other.
You could probably buy a few Sonos speakers that'll do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of them do exactly the same thing.
Oh, I love the Sonos.
I just like the look of this one.
Yeah, I love Sonos. I'm going off on them. They're great.
So, and I thought, well, that's all I need because that's all I would ever use it for. I didn't want the wires or anything. You can charge USB into your computer, and then when it's charged, you just unplug it and take it outside. It goes for 12, 15 hours or whatever.
Yeah,
and
so that's good.
And the sound is really, really good. It's got a built-in bass on it, and it actually vibrates the desk. That if it sits on a desk, it's quite good. And then I bought another one while we were away because you can add them.
Yeah,
this
right.
little press button, and then they all sync up together, and you have stereo.
That's good. Sorry,
and
I was having a
$60.
That's all right. That's all right. Now, Jace, we are just at the top of the show there. I mentioned the Aussie Tech Crypto. What's going on with that?
Ooh.
Big success, I hear.
Isn't it? Yeah, you see the number of views and hits for our downloads of the audio and stuff. We're doing pretty well.
Going crazy. Now, what did you? I haven't listened to this week, episode 2 yet. What are you talking about this week?
Investing using marketplaces and exchanges online rather than mining.
Oh, just a quick question without notice. Do you think, because I'm with that BTC markets, that one that I think you might go through, then do you think that the price that they have on their market is somewhat different to maybe other markets? Do you think they shade
all the different, depending on who and how many people are trading, all the markets are going to be different. There's a lot of people who are having a conversation at the moment. They're like, well, let's see, Bitcoin currently is $14,000 through this market, but over that one it's $15,500. So technically, if I buy it at this one and then transfer to that one, then I make money straight away without doing anything. And technically, but one of the problems with Bitcoin is the lag in transferring stuff, and there's also huge fees. A lot of people like Steam and others have dropped out of Bitcoin altogether because it takes so long. There's new coins coming out, like Litecoin was an example of Bitcoin redone so that it would be a lot faster to do transactions. And the Bitcoin transaction costs, they have fees whenever you're transferring it.
So it's not as liquid as it should be, like cash or shares.
Yeah, so there's a lot more competing ones coming out to do that.
So there's no real chance of arbitrage, is what you were talking about, buying high at this side. And
there's a competing one called Ripple, which is being put forward by the banks, and it's supposed to do transactions in microseconds. And they're thinking, well, one of the ideas is to replace the SWIFT payment system, where you transfer money around the world at the moment. Like my pay, I get paid by a company in San Francisco. They might start the transfer on Monday morning, and I might get it Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning. But with the Ripple,
and the prices change. It's got to be immediate.
Yeah, and with the Ripple, not the coin itself, which is XRP, but the Ripple crypto system itself, the as soon as they hit transfer into my bank account, bang, it's there.
Right.
So that would be a lot better system than Swift and stuff. So Bitcoin has some really big challenges. And because they just keep putting the fees up, and then suddenly a Bitcoin is worth $15,000 or $20,000, the fees go up accordingly with that, because so many people are trading with it, then it just becomes a headache.
I think
it's a percentage of the value, is it? Is it the fee, the percentage of the value?
I think so, yeah.
Another one
instead of a flat rate.
Another company that dropped the Bitcoin from their payment gateway was Stripe. They're no longer doing
and they're looking at Stellar Lumens. So guess who just invested in Stellar Lumens again? I did have them a couple of weeks ago, and I got out of Stellar. But now that Stripe is like, oh hey, we're thinking maybe we'll go being across the way.
Well,
I
still got me ripples. So tell us, Jace, where can we find this video / podcast audio? Where do we go?
Yep, you can get it from your iPhone or any iProduct, iPad, your iMac, MacBook Pro, whatever, any iTunes platform, plus any of the Apple devices, and any of the Android ones. So we submitted it to Pocket Cast, and you can find it in there, or just watch it on YouTube in the Aussie Tech Heads channel.
And you got a website?
Yes, AussieTechCrypto.com.
And you've also got a Discord, which is
Discord
good.
chat channel, and
that's...
we go through the Facebook, Aussie Tech Heads Facebook and stuff too. So
so keep an eye everywhere. That's good stuff.
I'm hoping to get a guest or two on. There's a few people in Australia who are into the crypto, and there's one that I just invested in this week as well, called Horizon State Decision Token, and that coin is based out of Melbourne, so it'd be good to get someone from Australia on there to talk about cryptocurrency and the like.
Yeah, I just had a look at my ripples. I think the last lot I bought was at $1.95, and now they're down to $1.69. But they do fluctuate.
Hodl.
Yeah, hodl.
Hodl.
What's the sell word? Is there a sell word? Like sell,
no,
sell.
Just sell.
Hodl. All right. I'll tell you someone else who's been doing a lot of selling is JB Hi-Fi. Now, they've joined the list of... They've been named as one of the biggest retailers in the world as part of Deloitte's Global Powers of Retailing 2018 report. Now, JB has debuted on this international list at 218th place. Well, you might think that's a fair way down the list, but geez, I'd love to be on it. Revenues, of 5.3 billion in the financial year 2017, and net income of 162 million. So the only other
not a lot. Not based on their turnover, but their costs are quite high at JB Hi-Fi, and their margins are quite low. But that's all right. They're doing well.
So are they making it, do you think, onto that? I don't know. Have you got any knowledge about this list, Eric, Deloitte's Global Power of Retailing report?
Not a lot.
When you just said that, I'm just wondering now, why are they on the list? Are they on the list because of the turnover?
Based on turnover.
Right.
Based on turnover.
Right. And the only other two Australian companies to make the list were Woolies, coming in 23rd with 50.8 billion turnover, and Coles and Bunnings, which ranked at 21 on the list with a revenue of 59.5 billion.
$5 billion. I'm a fixer.
I love fixing. I fix everything. So JB Hi-Fi.
Eric the Builder.
Yeah. Glenn the fixer, and Jason the hodler.
Yep.
All right. So good on you, JB. Yeah, like I don't think they're going too bad. They do have some.
No, they're good.
Good pricing.
They're good. I don't mind JB.
I'm gonna be popping up to up the coast on the weekend to get my daughter a new desktop computer from them.
Oh, right.
Everywhere in town here is like
why
double
desktop?
Price.
Why desktop computer?
Well, she likes to do gaming as well.
Right. We'll get her a lappy with a big screen.
No, it's the power of the graphics chip to render the 3D.
Okay.
It gets very laggy.
Well, can I sell you a laptop from Kogan? Probably not. Kogan debuts.
Cog top.
A what?
Oh, that'd be crap. That'd be rubbish. I can imagine what they'd be selling.
Yeah, it's not the best. But anyway,
1998 bloody hip on it.
But anyway, I'll just quickly go through this one. It's the Kogan it's debuting a $400 13-inch convertible laptop, so you can push the screen back onto the keyboard and use it as a tablet as well. So it's the Atlas 13-inch C300 notebook, converts into a tablet, 360-degree rotating hinge. It's fitted with a 13.3-inch display, 1920 by 1080 resolution. Comes with Windows 10 Home. Specifications are similar to the one that they released last year. This one is let's have a look. It's powered by an Intel Celeron N3450. I've got a picture of it somewhere for those on the video.
Here it is.
There you go. Have a look at that.
On the bottom of the list.
So Intel Celeron N3450, quad-core processor, 4 gig RAM, 64 gig hard drive with SSD expansion slot, supporting up to 512 gig of extra storage. It's available
That's pretty slow.
Exclusively at Kogan's online store and begins shipping 25th of January. So I've also... Did I get that list? Yeah, I got that list. I did. I thought I'd go...
Lenovo Yoga?
Hey?
Is it a Lenovo Yoga?
No.
Rebranded?
No, I got a...
Because they do all of that, right?
Yeah, I got a Yoga 2 or something like that. That's good. I like mine. But anyway, I did this. I went and searched this Intel Celeron N3450 chip to see how it ran. Clock speeds at 1.1 gigahertz, so that is just dead slow.
That is slow.
Yeah,
that's an anchor.
Yeah, it's pretty slow. I think it'd probably do the basics, like it would probably play a YouTube video, probably let you do a Word document. I don't
Email.
Surf the web processor. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, so as you can see, if you're on the video, like she's sitting pretty much down the bottom. We've got where can we go here? Say a mid-range i7 4700, 2.4 gigahertz. It's rating, say, 7,699. An i5 mid-range rated at 3,931, and this Intel was 1,822. So it's down the bottom of the list. But, it might be good. It'd probably do a school kid. So, yeah, good. But that's what happens if you're interested in it. Now, did anyone else... Did you have any stories tonight, Jace, or you just want to bob along? All right. What do you got?
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced today that he has signed an executive order that would require internet service providers with state contracts to abide by net neutrality rules, even though the FCC recently voted to repeal those rules last month. Cuomo's announcement comes a couple of days after Montana's governor signed essentially the same order. Both executive orders require service providers with contracts to abide by the widely agreed upon tenets of net neutrality, no blocking, throttling, or otherwise favouring content. But the more populous New York could have become a key battleground over net neutrality. According to the order, any service provider receiving or renewing a contract after March 1st in New York will be required to sign an agreement saying they will adhere to net neutrality principles. Major companies, including Verizon and AT&T, have signed contracts with the state. That, however, doesn't mean the executive order will stand. When it passed its repeal of net neutrality rules late last year, the FCC specifically included a provision blocking states from passing their own rules. New York, like other states that attempted similar plans, will likely face a legal challenge.
So just in a couple of words, what is net neutrality?
Didn't you see that Burger King video?
Yes, but I wanted to get an explanation.
Very good, yes. What happens is they want to charge for speeds, basically. So what they do, rather than saying, if you pay the cheap internet, we'll cut your speed down, they'll say people can buy a fast speed plan and their data will go through the internet a lot faster and they'll get a lot more of it because they'll let it through, whereas the others, they're really throttling it because there's one big speed. And so they cut it down for the others, but the way they're trying to make it look as if you buy this as the normal speed and then you pay a bit more, we'll increase the speed.
Well, so I guess...
for certain things, because the problem is that YouTube videos and Netflix have such a large amount of bandwidth. It's like a third of every ISP's bandwidth at least for both of those two things. And now the ISPs are like, well, for us, it doesn't cost any more if people are using more of the bandwidth, but we want to make some more money. And how can we do that? Well, let's start throttling down Netflix and YouTube.
Make people pay.
Because we're a cable provider ourselves, we'll let our cable go through at full speed. So if you want to watch Netflix, it'll start buffering. But if you watch our particular cable channels, they'll go really fast and you'll have no problem. So then people will be like, oh, bloody Netflix is so bad these days, they must have oversold or something. It's got nothing to do with them. It's because the ISPs, the higher tier, want to make some more money, so they slow down Netflix and say, well, Netflix, if you want your data to get through, you can start paying us as well as the customers paying us, so we get double payments.
Yippee. Now, I think net neutrality, it sounds like it's a good word, but net neutrality is the process of the throttle. Is that right?
No. Net neutrality means all internet data is equal, should come through at equal speeds for whatever you pay for. They're not going to throttle something down. So that's why they've repealed the net neutrality laws.
So we want net neutrality.
Net to be neutral should be exactly the same. So we want it.
Yes. Right, yes, we want net neutrality, yes. And I think
we want it, providing it mine's faster.
But is that, so you've got things like, as you mentioned, that Burger King ad or video. That was pretty interesting. If you go net neutrality Burger King, you'll see a video where some guy lines up to buy a burger. There's people lining up to buy a burger, and the girls in front, they have to wait for their burger, but a guy behind paid $26. He got his burger straight away. And out he went, and these girls are still waiting for burgers, and another guy was waiting for a burger, but because they wanted to sell chicken sandwiches or something, he had to wait for a burger, and he couldn't get a chicken sandwich because he had to wait for it, even though there was one ready, or something like that. Yeah. Have a look at it. Google it.
They hold on to it. They're like, hang on, 10 more seconds. You can't have... Wait. Okay, there's your food.
So net neutrality, that's what we want.
Yes.
We want the neutral internet. I was thinking about it today, and I'm just thinking there's no way... If the cable companies decide to do this, or if this actually goes through, there's really no way around it, is there?
Well, they've already sued there's a lot of communities now. There was a company or a guy in a group who went around recently around America through all the communities and found out that community supplied broadband, because the ISPs are so terrible and creating laws to stop competitors, they're launching their own community broadband, and it's created by the council. And people can sign up to it themselves without having to go through one of the big ISPs. And I was reading one of the things that this solves is some of the ISPs in America have created laws by lobbying that you can't. They're the only ones who can supply internet in that particular area, which might be a couple of 100 miles, but then they don't put any internet there at all.
Right, yes.
So that area, they're the only ones who can put internet there, but they decided it's not commercially viable, so they're not putting internet there. So nobody can put internet there, and that whole area is suffering because they can't get any internet whatsoever. So no broadband in the whole area.
So this is pretty much just all bubbling over in the US at the moment. It's not sort of coming over our way, is it?
Not yet, no.
No, it
I would like it, of course, but not yet.
Yeah. All right. Now let's get back to something.
Our internet's already shitty enough.
That's right. Yeah. Well, Telstra lets me get a faster speed if I pay an extra $20. So.
Yeah, but that's just faster speed to everything.
Yes.
It's not. If you pay $20, you can have your Netflix working how it should have been working in the first place, like it did last year. A lot of the thing with the FCC guys, like. Well, back in the 90s, they didn't have these super net neutrality rules and the internet worked for everyone. It's like, because back in the 90s,
there was no one on it.
Yeah.
There was no Netflix, there was no YouTube, and everything just worked at the same speed.
The demand for data-hungry applications was non-existent.
Yeah, everything just went at 1200, board.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to worry about.
What is it, 56K, whatever it was.
Yeah, 56.
And the point is, now they do want to slow it down. They didn't back then. Now they do. And by taking away the net neutrality laws, you're going to let them slow down Netflix unless you pay more money. And there's another country, I can't remember which one it was, but somebody put up a screenshot from their website, and it's like, here's your broadband fee, let's say $30 a month, right?
Yeah.
You want to access YouTube and Netflix, that's an extra $10 a month. You want to access Facebook, Twitter, and Pandora, that's another $20 a month on top of that.
This is becoming like Foxtel.
Yeah, it's turning into a
subscription based on what you want to watch.
And that's the internet is just the internet. It's like they're not segregated like
the
channels.
internet should be like electricity. It's there.
It's just there. That's right.
Otherwise, it's just ridiculous. I understand the concept of if you want to sit at the pointy end of the plane, you've got to pay more. Okay, I don't believe in the quality there. They can go and knock themselves.
Yep.
But when it comes to electricity, water, and internet, the three basic utilities, they should be equal.
Yeah, that's right. Now, we've all been going through all this, having meltdowns about the meltdown, floor and whatever.
Linus Torvalds had something to say about that, didn't he?
He did, and that's what
Australian of the Year has just been announced, if anyone's interested.
Australian of the Year?
Yeah.
Okay, you hear it here first. Who is it?
Was it you?
Professor Michelle Yvonne Simmons.
And what does she do?
She's a professor in quantum physics.
Oh,
cool.
Nice.
From New South Wales.
Nice.
She says here, one of the world's top scientists, Professor Michelle Simmons, has pioneered research that could lead to a quantum leap in computing. Since arriving in Australia from Britain 18 years ago, Michelle has transformed the University of New South Wales quantum physics department into a world leader of advanced computer systems.
Wow.
In 2012, Michelle and her team created the world's first transistor made from a single atom, which is pretty impressive.
Wow.
Along with the world's thinnest wire, at the forefront of what she calls the space race of the computing era. She aims to build a quantum computer able to solve problems in minutes that would otherwise take thousands of years.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
I used to like that show, Quantum Leap.
Yeah, that was all right.
Like that show.
That's getting repeated on Foxtel somewhere, I think, doing the rounds.
Yep, good choice. Better than that other idiot a couple of years ago, Morrison, whatever his name was.
Oh, yeah, the ex-general of the army or something. Anyway, don't talk about him. Now, anyway, get back to Linus Torvalds. Oh, is that how you pronounce his last name? Linus Torvalds. Now, he's the creator of the Linux kernel. He has slammed Intel's Meltdown and Spectre bug fixes as complete and utter garbage. And that's quote.
Well, Intel have said don't install them, so...
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. So, so he's obviously no fan of these patches. He argued that an Intel update which addresses a feature known as the Indirect Branch Restricted Speculation, or the IBRS, is a poor implementation of a meltdown fix that would have users turn on the fix during boot. Now, according to TechCrunch, Torvalds suspects that this IRBS workaround is too slow, too inefficient to be rolled out universally, and Intel have since made the meltdown fix optional, as well as adding in garbage additional features. So,
plus, it can also crash your computer.
Yeah, I think the PCs are just rebooting, aren't they? I think that's the problem. So Intel is not serious about this. We have an ugly hack that will be so expensive that we don't want to enable it by default because that would look bad in benchmarks, he wrote. So the patches do things like add the garbage MSR rights to the kernel entry exit points. And he went on to say that's insane. That says we're trying to protect the kernel. We already have retpoline there, whatever that is, probably some hokey pokey Intel stuff, coding stuff. Torvald add later, as it is, the patches are complete and utter garbage. So yeah, and Jace, you were saying that Intel has since come out and they've said that don't install the patch.
Yep.
Yeah, they've Intel has said last Monday that it wanted computer manufacturers and data center owners to stop using the current fixes for the Spectre and security flaws. So the patches which the company spent months crafting cause computers to reboot. Intel asked customers to start testing an updated version of its patch. So it's all a bit of a mess, isn't it? It's a big mess.
And also slowed servers down by about a third. So you know how fast servers have to run performing millions of transactions, particularly gaming servers and things like this, and they have to just add on more capacity to make up for the missing speed now.
So I think because most of the server and data centers, they were probably rolling these patches out quite judiciously, weren't they?
Well, they do tests on a few dev platforms to see what had happened, and then run speed tests to see if it's going to make that much of a difference, and it made a huge difference. So
yeah, because I know
if you don't.
Yeah, because I know like the data center that we're at with the web hosting, that they issued, or that they took everyone offline for about 20 minutes about a week or so ago and applied the Meltdown patch. Everything came back up okay, and it doesn't reboot because obviously everything's still up. But yeah, maybe it wasn't a problem for their particular models. I think the problem was more of the older Intel chips. Yeah, it's
well, the other
bad.
thing is website hosting probably isn't that much of a taxing compared to running complex algorithms for businesses and huge databases with millions or billions of records and stuff.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it's just a mess. It's a mess. But yeah, so like I don't know if any home user.
It's a mess.
That's right. I posted that before, didn't I? I remember that now. I still think it's a mess. Now, what was I going to say? I forget. What else you got, Jace?
Kim.com, the founder of file sharing site Mega Upload, is suing the New Zealand government for billions of dollars in damages over his arrest in 2012. The internet entrepreneur is fighting extradition to the US to stand trial for copyright infringement and fraud. Mr. .com says an invalid arrest warrant negated all charges against him. He is seeking damages for destruction to his business and loss of reputation. Accountants calculate that the Mega Upload group of companies could be worth $10 billion today had it not been shut down during the raid. As he was a 68% shareholder in the business, Mr. .com has asked for damages going up to $6.8 billion.
Wow.
He is also considering taking similar action against the Hong Kong government. As stated in documents filed with the High Court, Mr. .com is also seeking damages for all lost business opportunities since 2012, his legal costs, loss of investments he made to the mansion he was renting, his lost opportunity to purchase the mansion, and the loss of reputation.
He's had a lot. He's had a lot of missed opportunities, hasn't he? Poor bloke.
Yes,
but it's someone else's fault.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the fraud and the dodginess. It's someone else's fault.
He hasn't got hungry though, so that's good.
No.
He's eating well.
Yeah. Apple. Oh, here we go. Apple will let you disable battery slowdowns. So, big kerfuffle with Apple admitting that they do slow phones down.
This is a Trojan horse. I guarantee you, if you do this, then suddenly something else goes wrong with your phone, and then you're forced to go to Apple and get another one anyway. I guarantee they're not just going to give this to you and expect you to get a scot-free run. Guaranteed, $50 on the table. It'll open up something else on the phone that annoys the hell out of you.
Maybe, yeah. So what it is they're going to they've come out before, previously in the last couple of weeks, whatever, and they've said, yes, we do slow phones down to preserve the older phone's battery life and all this sort of blah blah blah, so the battery doesn't get taxed and the phone goes into a reboot. Now Apple has everyone went off their Richter. Apple has now pledged to go a step further. If they're saying if you don't like the way your iPhone battery is slowing your phone down, you'll soon be able to disable the feature altogether, but it's not recommended. The feature is there for a reason, and the reason is to prevent you having a battery that constantly downs tools for a breather. So whether or not,
well, why don't they give the option of you going in and changing your battery?
Well, they've provided cheap battery replacements. But Tim Cook told a news network, I don't know, I think it was ABC in America, that the update will roll out in a developer release next month before extending to the public at large. We're going to give people the visibility of the health of the battery, so it's very, very transparent. This has not been done before. Well, I guess, be good to know the health of your battery, I guess. Just another little stat that can run around in your brain. The company's calculation is clearly that the impression of keeping the throttling secret was worse than the throttling itself. And it's hard to argue with their working. When people see how annoying it is to have an unreliable device, they'll likely re-enable the feature, but at least they'll have been consulted. So Yeah, I think. Look, I think you just take it as.
I'm not convinced.
Yeah,
and I like Apple products as a rule, but I just don't trust Tim Cook.
Well,
Never have.
I think you just sort of, you got an older phone. You expect, we've probably been conditioned to expect it to slow over time, and which stands to reason. The operating system gets bigger, the apps are getting bigger because the CPUs are getting faster. So, and like I noticed, my phone, goes a bit slow at times. I've got a 6S, but I don't know. Like, look, I'll probably, if this feature's available, of course I'll play with it. I'll turn it off.
I'll try it out on my iPad mini, even though it's not supposed to be slowing down, but it still is anyway.
Yeah, they do.
So
I'll slow down even if it's an incremental update, not the full blown 10 to 11. Even an 11 to 11.1 can slow down a device, which is ridiculous.
So I think what they're saying is that if you turn this setting off about the battery thing that they're going to do, then your phone can just turn off. And so Tim Cook said that
it'll die sooner. That's what they're saying?
Well, yes. So like he said, well, we'd rather do it our way, which is, slow it down in certain times, certain peak loads or whatever. We'd rather do it our way than when you're on a phone call and it just turns off and drops out. So yeah, we'll see how we go. And just what's this bit here? Just one more thing about the Meltdown and Spectre patches. Apparently hackers have been working on fake patches. So riddled with malware and distributed via very dubious websites claiming to be supported by security authorities. This malware rubbish was discovered by Malwarebytes. The malware is known as a smoke loader. It looks to be an official patch, but will actually let malware loose on your computer, posing a potentially greater threat than the original Meltdown and Spectre vulnerabilities. The download is called Intel AMD Security Patch 10.1v1.exe. So don't download any of that. Yeah, I don't know why a home user would be trying to patch their chip anyway, just quietly.
Stupid, yeah.
You patch yours, Jace?
No, I haven't made any changes.
You gonna?
I was just reading that some of the motherboard manufacturers said there was a BIOS update for the exploits, and they've advised not to install them either. So.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh, Mr. Hart. What else you got over there, Jace?
Well, you go for a light-hearted one. Minutes after the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency mistakenly sent a missile alert at 8:07 a.m. on January 13, terrifying residents and visitors across the state, some officials, such as Rep. Tulsi Gabbard, rushed to Twitter to reassure everyone it was a mistake. But one Twitter account was definitely silent for 17 minutes, that of Hawaii Governor David Ige. Though Ige was informed by the state's adjutant general that the alert was false 2 minutes after it was sent, he waited until 8:24 a.m. to tweet, "There is no missile threat." On Monday, after he gave the state address in which he avoided the subject of the missile alert fiasco, reporters demand an explanation for that long silence. His answer: "I couldn't remember my Twitter password, so I need to fix something."
Oh, that's hopeless.
Did you see they interviewed this guy a few days later, and he was standing in his office in front of the computer, and the password was on a post-it note right there in front for everyone to see.
Yeah, that's hopeless. Yeah, that is hopeless. I had a picture of him. Hang on, see if I can get a picture. Where is it? There it is. There he is. Got his password. Well, maybe he needed to get some post-it notes.
Yeah,
ABC 1 2 3.
Yes. Now, Eric, you got to leave us.
Yes, I have to leave you, my friend.
All right.
We'll try and see you next week.
Yep, no problems. We'll have a good night and have a good Australia Day weekend.
Yes, you too. Bye, everyone. Bye, Jason.
Here's a barbecue.
Woo! Yes, indeed. See you, mate.
All right. Now, another... Was that lighthearted, was it, Jace? Forgot.
I thought it was funny that the governor of the whole state forgot his password for Twitter.
Well, I'll give you a lighthearted one as well. I downloaded one. Probably not lighthearted for the parties involved, but lighthearted for us. Now, Grumpy Cat. I don't know if you remember Grumpy Cat. It was about as a meme that went around about a picture of a cat that had a permanent scowly look on its face.
I did. I was going to have an iPhone mini game based on that, but then they said they were going to sue the heck out of anyone who used the words grumpy cat anywhere, so I shut it down.
Yeah, yes, you don't want to do that. But would it have been registered in Australia? You might have got away with it. If it's not registered in Australia, go for your life. Now, Grumpy Cat Limited had sued the owners of US coffee company Granati for exceeding an agreement over the cat's image. The company only had rights to use the cat to sell its Grumpachino iced drink, but sold other Grumpy products. The cat, its real name is Tartar Sauce, went viral in 2012 after photographs of her expression emerged online. Now, I've got a photograph of her. If those on the video, you can have another look at Grumpy Cat. There it is. Originally posted on the social website Reddit by the brother of the cat owner, blah, blah, blah. In 2013, Granada Beverage, owned by father and son Nick and Paul Sanford, struck a $150,000 deal to market iced coffee beverages with the cat's growl appearing on its package. And there's a picture of the beverages, if you're on the YouTube. Now, in 2015, a mere 2 years later, Grumpy Cat, he's very grumpy. He got extremely grumpy and sued them for breaching the contract. Now, a court filing claimed that they this is the Granada, had exceeded the deal by selling roasted coffee and Grumpachino T-shirts. How dare they? Now, which Grumpy Cat said blatantly infringed on the copyrights and trademarks. Well, I guess if it does, doesn't it? The coffee chain's owners countersued on the grounds that the cat and its owners had not held up their side of the deal. A lawyer for Granati said the Grumpy Cat had failed to mention its brand enough on social media and in television appearances, according to court reports. So that got a bit messy too, that one, didn't it? But anyway, the Grumpy Cat got $710,000 in a payout. So, well, Grumpy Cat can't be too grumpy after that, can you? That's not too bad. Jace, any more?
Rupert Murdoch, the media billionaire who controls the Wall Street Journal, called on Facebook to begin paying publishers' fees to carry the news that its users post and share online in a sign of the print industry's growing frustration with social media. If Facebook wants to recognize trusted publishers, then it should pay those publishers a carriage fee similar to the model adopted by cable companies, Murdoch, the executive chairman of News Corp, said on Monday in a statement. The publishers are obviously enhancing the value and integrity of Facebook through their news and content, but are not being adequately awarded for those services. Facebook and Google have popularized scurrilous news sources through algorithms that are profitable for these platforms, but inherently unreliable, he said. Recognition of a problem is one step on the pathway to cure, but the remedial measures that both companies have so far proposed are inadequate, commercially, socially, and journalistically. Murdoch, who also leads 21st Century Fox, called for a system similar to that in cable television, where large distributors like Comcast and AT&T pay fees to the TV network owners and attract their viewers.
So I don't know if he's going to win this one. Like, how can he? So like news can be posted on Facebook by anyone from anywhere. What are they? They're going to have like a blacklist of sites that they don't like, and so they don't let posts from these sites appear or something? Like,
if it's a Murdoch site, then it must have the 100% truth, so you can guarantee that.
Of course it does. Now, I don't know. Look, he's been going on about stuff like this for ages, hasn't he? I remember he sort of led the charge with all the newspaper paywalls and all this sort of stuff. He wasn't happy just to be linked to, get the advertising revenue or click-throughs or whatever from just being linked to. Sydney Morning Herald, Financial Review, all paywalls. Australian paywall. So anything owned by him, he pretty much hit a paywall these days. But so I don't know. Should Facebook pay news publishers a fee? I don't know how they're even going to calculate, how they're even going to police that. Like,
I can summarize Facebook's response.
Yeah. Yes, I reckon it might be too. Maybe it might be better just to buy a part of Facebook, and then everything will be happy. Yeah, and then everyone's happy. Now, are you into cyber security? Are you one of the good guys that wants to get out there and, knuckle dust all the bad black hatters out there?
Part of my job, dude. Most of my job, really.
Right. Well, do you know
fighting the baddies on the internet?
Oh,
Giving them World War II.
good stuff. I can just see you all day there, just going pow, pow, pow.
It's very tiring, I can tell you, but I've got very strong arm muscles.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Now, Australia's TAFEs have partnered to offer national qualifications in cyber security from this year. So if you're not, I don't know, should I say if you're not good enough to go to uni, or if you're or if you're not going to uni, if you're not able to, or for whatever reason, go to uni and do the diploma or the bachelor and postgraduates or whatever they have down there of cybersecurity, you can go to TAFE now, which is great. I think that's a good idea. Obviously, it's going to be cheaper. So the certificate and diploma level qualifications were developed in partnership with industry and will provide students with hands-on skills needed for Australia's cyber security workforce. Now, the certificate 4 in cyber security, which I'll give you the number just in case you're interested, 22334 VIC, and advanced diploma of cyber security 22445 VIC. Courses can be undertaken on a full-time or part-time basis. The courses will be available at Box Hill Institute, Canberra Institute of Technology and TAFEs across New South Wales, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia from this year. So the organisation has estimated that at least an additional 11,000 technical cybersecurity specialists will be needed to meet demand by Australian organisations over the next decade. That's amazing.
You've got to fight the cyber wars.
Yeah, 11,000.
Keep out them Russians, comrade.
Yeah, so if anyone's out there thinking of what to do, twiddling their thumbs, go and do a course in this if you're interested in it, and chances are there's going to be a lot of work for you. So,
we'll keep you busy, comrade.
Yeah, you see a lot of Russian stuff come through over your desk?
Yeah.
Do you squash him?
Comrade. No, there is no bad Russian thing.
No.
It's not the thing you need to be looking at.
It's all kosher.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. What else you got, Jace?
The Trump administration just approved tariffs of 30% on imported solar panels.
From Russia to Trump. What a segue.
Yeah. Most of the American solar industry has opposed tariffs on panels, saying they would raise prices and hurt the sector. A small group of solar panel manufacturers argued successfully that an influx of cheap imports, largely from China or Chinese-owned companies, was hurting domestic manufacturing. It's also part of President Trump's broader trade agenda against China. From the report, the tariffs would last for 4 years and decline in increments of 5% from 30%, 25%, 20%, and finally 15% in the fourth year. The tariffs are lower than the 35% the US International Trade Commission had initially recommended last year. This is actually the third and broadest set of tariffs the US government has issued on solar imports in the recent years. The Obama administration issued 2 earlier rounds of tariffs on a narrow set of imports. Monday's action also imposed import tariffs on washing machines, a much lower profile issue than the solar energy.
Yeah, well, I think 30%, that was Trump's magic number pretty much, wasn't it? I think it was 30% for everything.
Keep the Chinese out of America. He really doesn't like them. I don't know what they've done to him, but he really doesn't like them.
They wouldn't clean his shoes once when he was over there.
China bad, Russia good.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. If you go from a different angle, I guess he's... so if you put a tariff on something, pretty much means that it's going to obviously make it more expensive to buy in America.
Yeah.
So therefore, what would you see happen? Would you see an American solar industry become, grow? Would they be able? Is that because they would then be able to compete with the Chinese because of the tariffs? But I think it wasn't too long ago. Even like I can remember back when there were tariffs on everything. There's tariffs on cars and computer parts or whatever. Everything. I remember tariffs on everything, and I think it was maybe through the Hawke years. I think, or don't quote me on this. I've got no idea. But maybe back that sort of era, then the tariffs started to come off, and everyone was happy because everything was cheaper. But then all of our industry started to disappear, I guess. So is it a good or bad thing? I don't know.
The other problem is then the American ones can put their prices up to say that they have to in order to keep afloat, and so solar might just keep going up, and then people go back to fossil fuels again.
Yeah, but they can only go up to a certain degree because China will, the parity of the two prices. China, even with the 30%, is going to be still at this price. So then the US, you couldn't sell domestically higher because you're still, even with But I don't know. It's above my pay scale, so leave it to someone else. Leave it to Trump. That should be the name of a show.
He seems to be a great businessman.
Leave it to Beaver. Look, that's about all the stories I've got. Have you got any more, Jace, over there?
Probably one we can finish up with.
Yeah.
Mozilla released on Tuesday a new version of its Firefox Quantum browser, boosting its graphics speed and improving a couple of new technologies designed to make the web more powerful. The browser, version 58, is the first major update since Mozilla's recovery plan hit full stride in November with the debut of Firefox Quantum. Speed is of the essence in Mozilla's recovery plan, and Firefox 58 does better than its predecessor in some graphics tasks by splitting work better across multiple processor cores that computer chips have these days. The result should be scrolling that's smooth, uninterrupted by the stuttering that in computer circles goes by the disparaging term jank. Firefox 58 helps with two new web technologies. One, called WebAssembly, provides for dramatically faster web apps. Firefox 58 can get WebAssembly software running faster, so you don't have to twiddle your thumbs waiting as long after clicking a link. Another is Progressive Web Apps, PWAs, an initiative that came out of Google to help make the web a better match for the apps that we all drop on our phones.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I thought I was the only one suffering from, what was it? Jank. Yeah, so, because I hate that. And even through the show when I'm trying to get a web page up, the page will just stall until
you start scrolling down and then it stops and it's loading.
And you think,
oh, you bastard.
Yeah, and you think, oh, no, it's not scrolling with your scroll wheel. So then you think, oh, maybe my batteries ran out or something. So then you go to the scroll bar, try and drag it down. That still doesn't work.
No.
And just go,
just locks up.
So they reckon that the Firefox is getting better than the Chrome now.
Yeah, one of my friends messaged me this week and he said, I think I'm going to go back to Firefox because a lot of the stuff they're doing, he's very interested in. So they might end up winning some people. I'm still Chrome everywhere just because I gave up on Firefox when it was getting slow. So I installed Chrome everywhere. Now it syncs between my MacBook, my Windows PC, my phone, and my iPad mini, and all the Chromes sync across. So if you look at something on here, you can open it up on there on a different platform and continue where you were, and things like it, synchronize the bookmarks and passwords and everything. So
I think pretty much just
nice together.
Yeah, just by looking at the that Firefox page, I think obviously that's going to do just about the same thing as the Chrome, with all those sort of little features. Yeah, because I've been thinking about that as well. I might try and go back to the Firefox. Chrome's been... The thing I don't like about Chrome, and it really annoys me, is sometimes it'll just hold pages in cache, and you just can't... You've got to actually go to the trouble of emptying that cache out, and so if I'm changing a web page or something, and it
holds it too long, and you like shift refresh.
Yeah.
Refresh, damn you little bastard, and it's still showing you old data.
That's right. And so then you go, open up Firefox or Explorer, load the page up, you go, that's right. Then you go back to Chrome and, it goes all again with your next one. Mainly just the images that sort of caches a lot. And text is not too bad, but it annoys me. But so this Firefox, is this Quantum version or whatever it is, that just comes down as a normal update? I think, doesn't it?
I'm not sure about that. It might be a completely different one, like the Chrome Canary.
Oh, do you think so? Hang on, let's have a look here. I thought...
if you go to the normal Firefox page, it says download Quantum.
Well, it says download now, but I think this is on Firefox. If I go into here and we go help... No. Firefox help? No, it's about... Where's about us in this thing? Help.
Here's one of the problems.
Where about Firefox? Here we go. So I'm up to date. Version 58.0, 64 bits.
Mine's downloading a new one right now.
Oh, yeah, Firefox Quantum, stand me up right at the top. I'm looking for the small print.
Mine says Quantum as well in big letters.
Yes. So, can you guys see that? No. How come you can't? No. Why can't you see that? Because it's a window. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, we can't see that little window. But anyway, yes, it is Firefox Quantum. I didn't download the Quantum specifically, so it obviously comes through the update pathway. So that's good.
Yeah, neither did I, but it says Firefox Quantum 58.0 64-bit. Firefox is up to date.
Yeah, nice. I think, look, I don't have too many Chrome extensions. I think I could probably move over, I guess. Yeah, look, I might give that a shot. It might be worth me while. Yeah, might give that a shot. Yeah. We'll both do it, Chase. We'll report
Why
back.
not?
We'll report back next week. All right, good stuff. Now, that's it. And that's it for another show, another week. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching if you're on the YouTube. Don't forget, you can go to the webpage, aussietechheads.com.au/podcast. Right down the bottom or out to the side, I think there might be a little tab there. Send us a audio message. If you want to send us some voice, I'm pretty sure just work with your webcam if you got it set up properly. Yes. So, yeah, just get in there and send us a voice and we'll play it on the show. I'll give you a place.
Hello, Glenn. I really totally like your show. It's awesome.
Yeah, we get those all the time. We can't help. Too many of them. But if you send us a nasty one, I'll play it. We'll laugh at you, but we'll still play it. It's, whatever. All right, good stuff. Okay, thanks, Jace. Thanks for coming in. It's been a pleasure once again. We haven't seen you for
next time.
A week or something, yeah. And good luck with the Aussie Tech Crypto. You're planning on a weekly show, or are you going to see how it goes?
At this stage, yeah, I think we can. And I want to introduce a new segment called Coin of the Week, which other podcasts and YouTube shows have Coin of the Week, and it's the one they're trying to shill. It's like, this is the one that's going to go big. And that's not what I want to do. I just want to pick a random coin and then talk about the technology behind why the coin was created. Some of them, like, for instance, the Horizon State Decision Token, the coin that I was talking to you about earlier, is for democracy. So it's for voting. And it's going to ensure that the voting is secure, can't be tampered with, and that a person has definitely voted. And this can be used for countries doing a federal or other government elections. It could be just websites or companies that want to know certain information, and you'll be guaranteed that it can't be tampered with, and that the person who voted said they voted the one that's voted. So, just give a bit of a background history like that, what it's for, who it's created for, because all the coins coming out now tend to have a reason for coming out, and they have a direction and what they're going to do. It's not just like cash. Cash is just, you can exchange it for goods and services and stuff, whereas these are going to have a technology behind them to support something.
Right. So where do you see that it's sort of going to go? Is that it's going to remain splintered like this, or do you think it's all eventually sort of come down to 1 or 2, 3, 4 main players?
Well, because a lot of them are not just about making money or buying and selling things. The underlying blockchain technology is actually being used for purposes. So I think it's possible that for different reasons there will be more forks and splits and stuff, but some of them will consolidate, particularly things like Bitcoin that are just monetary value, but others that have a purpose and an underlying reason, probably they're going to have a lot more of those come out. Everything's got its own individual niche.
Yeah, I haven't got my head wrapped around it quite 100% as much as you, but
keep watching the show.
I know I haven't seen the part 2, but I'd like to sort of get more into just what you've just explained. Why is there so many? Like, who are these people that are making up the blockchain or the computations, and why can't they be hacked and all this sort of stuff? Like, I just don't understand. I know
that's the kind of thing that I want to get a couple of guests on every now and then, and also, describe Coin of the Week and what its purpose is. So hopefully that'll help people like you out. And I think it'll be on the new one on Aussie Tech Radio soon.
Yes, Fridays. Yes. Well, actually, they go up Thursday nights, but new shows every Friday. That's right.
I keep feeling like today is Friday because I don't have to work tomorrow. Yeah,
I know. How good is that? How good is that? So yeah, throw a couple of snags on the barbie, a couple of lamb chops. Where's what's that guy that does the lamb chop ads? Where's he? I haven't seen him this year. I forget his name.
Sam Kekovich.
Sam Kekovich, that's him. Yeah, I haven't seen him around this year, but
I think a lot of people are getting a bit sick of him, to be honest.
he was all right. He yells a bit, but he's all right. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Okay, and that's it. Yes, we'll see you guys next time. So next week, next Thursday for another episode of Aussie Tech Heads. Thanks again, Jace. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.